We're back with another build video. This time we're going to be going over the build I used for Season 2, my Paint Beast. So first I'm going to show you the stats of the build that I created and used in the video. I'm going to show you two different versions of it I would make, knowing what I know now about how to use a build, all the specifications about what goes into that. So first we're going to start with what I originally used. So 7'2", 251 pounds with almost max wingspan. So for the most part with finishing, I didn't really mess anything up. This is when I figured out Hall of Fame brace under pressure, all that stuff. The only thing I would say, given that my shooting isn't the best, I probably would have the standing dunk higher, especially given that my post control is 95, but that was due to other circumstances, most important one being my pass accuracy being so low. I had really nothing else to put it in. Normally I max out at 89 to get the maximum amount of badges that you can get without going overboard, but I had nothing else to put anywhere, so I just put it in that. Other than that, really the only deficiencies here are my 3-point rating. You should be aiming for 77 and or 78. So you at least want silver catch and shoot, or you want to go for gold corner specialist. As you saw in the clips, I could still hit contested shots, I could still green wide opens and all that stuff, but it definitely does help to have that as well. Really no serious trade-off in the build between that and what I use. Then for this, I just thought I'd get by with break starter and bullet passer. It was okay. I could make full court passes, but sometimes I would just throw them out of bounds, and definitely way more than any of my other builds. Other than that, defense wasn't really that bad. I should have gone for Hall of Fame brick wall and Hall of Fame intimidator, but overall it didn't really affect that much. Definitely Hall of Fame rebound chaser was a game changer for me, especially going from that 7'3" with minimum wingspan to this. I think that's something that should be aimed for, but isn't really necessary, especially at this height and the longer wingspans. Another thing I learned was how important strength was, but really other than that, there weren't really that many downsides aside from the passing and the shooting. I did use sharp takeover pretty much the entire season, but you do get all of these as well. If you want to make the exact build, it's like this, but here's how I would remake it. Well, one of the ways I would remake it now, knowing what I know. So it's still going to be a 7'2", it's still going to be 251 pounds, but we're going down to 7'8" wingspan for the 78 3 ball. Pretty much everything is the same in finishing. Again, we're going towards the more standard max for post scoring or post control, because that's really all you need. You're going to win all your drop steps, post spins. You're still going to get the dream shake fakes. That'll work every time. And now we have significantly more shooting. We're going to have more shooting badges as well. So you're going to be a more effective stretch big, as well as retaining the 99 rebounding. Here, we're going to get the 85 pass accuracy for the gold bullet passer, as well as all the other attribute and make attempt boosting badges here as well. So you essentially just gain that for basically nothing. Still keep all your perimeter defense. Your interior defense, I'm keeping it at 90. Because going up to Hall of Fame brick wall does kind of make the build worse overall. You have to give up too many other different things to get it here. I think there are more important attributes to a center. And since we're going with gold there, we're also going to go with gold for intimidator. Again, going down rather than having it at 93, where I'm wasting all those points, even though I'm not getting any reduction in the badge cost. I'm not getting a new badge, anything like that. Rebounding is the same. Still high offensive rebound. Typically, I would go with that higher than defensive rebound, since it's so important and it's so game-changing to get offensive boards. The real difference between this one and the last one is going to be the speed. 45, some people will say that's too slow, but on next gen it really does not matter. My builds have between 56 and 65 speed amongst my centers, all 7'1" to 7'3". And there's really no big difference. I can run across people's faces, I can recover off ball, do all this other stuff. So I think 45 will be fine. I've tested it out in the builder. It feels pretty much the exact same. I'm not losing any foot races out there. I'm not winning any foot races either. Especially paired up with the 50 in perimeter defense, you're gonna move just fine. And again, high strength, you're gonna be able to back people down better. I believe you're going to get more contact dunks out of it. I feel like I get more contact dunks with my heavier builds rather than my lighter ones, but there's also a thing with wingspan, stuff like that. But there's no real clarity on that. It's just feeling. I feel, well, I know for a fact I move people better with higher strength in the post, and I feel like it's easier to get contact dunks because of that, and then other factors as well. So that would be one of the ways I would do it. I'm going to show you takeovers I would get. So again, I'm always going to run sharp takeover on a stretch. You also get rim protecting, rebounding, and post scoring. Pretty much going to be the standard for every build I make. And the second one's almost the exact same physically, 1 pound lighter, but it really doesn't make a difference overall. So finishing, is this one's going to be more focused on interior. This style of it is, at least. So same thing here, 95 perimeter or post control, then the 99 standing dunk for Hall of Fame poster, all that stuff. Post scoring is going to be a little bit worse here just because you don't have the 82. So you're never going to get the gold difficult shots, so this is pretty much as good as it gets for you. You're still going to be able to score, obviously, fades, hop shots, all that stuff, but it's going to be a little bit worse than 82. It really doesn't matter. It's an inefficient shot anyways. If you're not good at it, you're not going to take it no matter what. So I wouldn't worry about it. I wouldn't put too much stock into making a build that's focused on hitting post fades. This is the new sweet spot in terms of pass accuracy that I found. So you get the 2 badge point bullet passer at 78, and you also get all the nice assisting badges, as well as I've found that you can still make the full court passes, you can still make tight to half court passes, all that stuff with 78. So you're not gonna be chucking it out of bounds if you try to get it down court, you try to rush it down there. You're not gonna get any crazy animations out of that. Then for the defense, it's almost exactly the same here. The only difference would be you're not gonna get Hall of Fame rebound chaser because you're gonna be at 95 and 85. But again, this is a focus on offensive rebounding, which tends to matter much more in terms of winning games, especially in a rec. Again, this is going to be a slower build, 45 speed, doesn't matter. Still get the 65 vert on all the builds, so you can get the contact dunks, but only the pro, not the elite big man contacts, because they don't let the tall centers get elite big man contacts. Totally makes sense. The only thing that you could do here, if you're not obsessed with getting contact dunks as a center, or you're not really worried about that, you could lower that down and then raise up your rebounding up to 94 and 99. You'll essentially be maxed out in terms of the badges you get for rebounding, all that stuff. Or you could bring it back down, do something like this where you bring up the speed. If you're worried about how fast you are, bring up the strength, something like this. So you can end up with a build like this or the build like before. It's really all going to be the same thing. Your takeovers aren't going to be any different amongst any of them. It's all going to be the same. Again, I recommend sharp takeover. Just be the most effective stretch big you can be. But in terms of rebounding, doesn't really make a difference there. If there's any other build videos you want to see, either the ones I'm using or ones that you're interested in hearing about or just looking at, let me know in the comments. I'll be uploading all of season 3 over the course of the next like 7 days or so. I'm going to start double uploading so I can get all of the videos out for all of the seasons before 2K23 drops. So if you have any other suggestions or anything you want to see, any changes to the highlight videos that you want in terms of music, style of editing, anything like that, just leave a comment, let me know. I'm going to respond to you no matter what. It's a small channel.